everyone, and welcome back to Night Combos.
Welcome back.
Hubby's here. We just wanted to say thank y'all so much to all of you, every single one of you. Thank you so much to all of our subscribers and all of our new subscribers. Excuse us. We're up to 1,090 subscribers now, and it's all because of every single one of you, and we couldn't be more grateful, and we hope to get to 1,100 soon. But we thank you so very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
And we just want to say, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and share, and do all the things. We would greatly appreciate it. I happened to catch this really good pause screen. Well, actually, Hubby did catch this really good pause screen when Dipgyp was cornered by TMZ at the airport, which we'll talk about in just a second, because we also wanted to say something about Ken and her. So we'll talk about that in just a few minutes when we get to the clip at the airport. We just thought y'all would find this kind of funny, that's all. It's not serious. We're not trying to bully anybody or anything like that, so please don't think that. It's just for a laugh. So it's just being snarky. It's just for a laugh, so just, sit back and have a laugh. It's okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about the news clip that Dipgyp did, but we're going to be talking about like her body language and stuff like that. But first, we wanted to show y'all this because we were going to say something about it. But listen to this first. This comes from Lauren Sheree on TikTok. I think that's how you pronounce her name, I'm pretty sure. If not, I'm so sorry. But I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name, Lauren Sheree. But listen to this. And it's in reference to a comment that she had saying, I recently sent a few letters to journalists, including the one recently posted on the same USF website after she was allowed to speak there. I feel we should start writing journalists and news stations. So this is like in response to that comment. But y'all will not believe this. Everybody that is in support of Gypsy and trying to take up for Gypsy and going up to bat for Gypsy, it shows right here. She's not doing this as a good deed or as advocacy, because a lot of people have been saying, she's out here doing advocacy work. Y'all wanted her to do advocacy work, and then when she goes and does it, you roll your eyes at her, or you have something to say about it or whatever. This is the reason why. Listen to this. And this is allegedly, yes, but we all know Dipgyp don't do nothing unless she's getting $1 for it. So let's just listen. Other than throwing away brand new clothes or dirty clothes that she just doesn't want to wash, she'll do that for free. But let's listen.
Is going to blow your mind and probably infuriate you. And this is in connection to the Gypsy Rose speaking engagement at San Francisco State University. So they say, I recently sent a few letters to journalists, including the one recently posted on the same USF website after she was allowed to speak there. I feel we should start writing journalists and news stations. Okay, so it is important to note, she spoke at San Francisco State University. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. So Gypsy did a paid speaking engagement gig at San Francisco State University a couple days ago. It was put on by a nonprofit called Project Rebound. And their objective is to reintegrate former offenders back into society with education. Great noble cause. So for that speaking engagement, it is alleged, now let me put an emphasis on alleged, that she made $20,000 plus airfare, plus hotel, plus food, plus transportation. Again, this is alleged, but this figure seems to be consistent everywhere I look. There are absolutely no words. I have a commenter on another video bring up a really good point. Project Rebound, the nonprofit, put it on. So where would they get this money? I have no idea. I do know that they get grant money. I know that there's donations that are made. All I know is that is the alleged figure that is going around consistently of what she was paid. A paid speaking engagement wearing this is not advocacy. Cosplaying Nancy Reagan is not advocacy. I wrote down some ideas for Gypsy Rose on what I think, and probably the majority of us think, that advocacy is. These are just a few ideas. Do petition drives, letter writing campaigns, speak in front of lawmakers, showcase offender stories on your platform, speak at benefits that are conducive to prison reform. So some people believe Gypsy should have no platform. She should not be on the internet since her crime was literally planned on social media. Some people think it's fine, but utilize that platform for good. Most people would not have a problem if she was just out here advocating for something positive and making a difference.
Yes.
And I know what y'all are going to say. Well, Lauren, what are you doing to make a difference? Well, I didn't murder, but I don't know if she can turn this ship around. And I do agree with almost 50 Swifty here. And I think that the university hosting her, it was reckless and it was inappropriate.
Okay, now I want to just show y'all a comment real quick. Okay, so this is the comments we wanted to show y'all real quick. It's just a few. This Vicky Black person says, what y'all jealous people should leave her alone. Y'all are a pathetic group of people. Okay, now hold on to that, because she just called us a pathetic group of people, right? Which we could say is bullying, supposedly, right? Okay. Then the creator, Lauren Sheree, says, the fact that you, quote, stand up for a grifting unaliver that's, quote, influencing young girls, doing zero with her platform, and is quite the bully herself, is mind-blowing. And it is. The Vicky Black woman comes back to say, what's mind-blowing is you people out there bullying someone that did absolutely nothing to you, and that's just pathetic. Okay, well, what are you doing, Vicky Black? You want to call other people bullies? Anyway, so Lauren Sheree comes back with jealous, question mark, of an unaliver, question mark, crying, laughing face. Yeah, okay. And then someone says, no one's jealous of Possum. I roll. Don't give one F how much money she makes, etc. I care that this lying, grifting schmurderer is walking free, that she used social media to plan her crime and is allowed to be. And is allowed to be. Okay, so anyway, and then
Is allowed to be an influencer.
oh yeah, I'm sorry, yes. They continue their comment right here. And is allowed to be an, quote, influencer. I'm disgusted that she's pandering to people's sympathy, crying abuse when she wasn't abused. There's nothing about this thing anyone would be jealous of. Yes, correct. You got that. Perfect. Yeah. Then Lauren Sheree comes back to say, you said this absolutely perfectly, friend. Agreed. Vicky Black couldn't leave it alone, y'all. She couldn't leave it alone. So, but she wants to call people a bully, but she couldn't leave it alone, y'all. She had to come back with, so why are you worried about what she's doing? Did she do anything to you or your family? No, she didn't. She's someone you don't even know. You are just mad she's having a good life and making money. And this woman, Lauren Sheree, all she did was all she did was report on Gypsy allegedly being paid $20,000 to do this speech, if that's what you want to call it, or speak at this university, okay? That's all she's reporting on. She didn't say nothing about Gypsy, good or bad, or nothing. So, Vicky Black, I don't even know what you're saying. But we commented with, you don't know either. Mind the business that pays you and don't watch. Keep scrolling. Like, if you don't like it, just keep scrolling. It's so easy to do. Technology is amazing these days. You can literally just take your finger and swipe it from the bottom of your phone straight up, and y'all, it will just scroll on. It really will. It's amazing. It's wild, I know. But, future technology, it's crazy. Anyway, we said, you don't know either. Mind the business that pays you and don't watch. Keep scrolling. We love having our mothers and not being felons. Also, would you defend a essayer, an artist, just because they didn't do it to you? And then Vicky Black replied to us with, I will mind whatever business I want to. And this is a grown woman now going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I will mind whatever business I want to. If you put it out there, I will respond. Okay, fair, fine. If you don't want to keep scrolling, fine. But nobody's going to continuously argue with you, though. But I will mind whatever business I want to if you put it out there. I will respond. All right, sure. And I don't care if you like it or not. Well, we didn't say we didn't like it. We just told you could keep scrolling if you didn't like it. And she says, you are nothing more than a jealous bully. We've said so many times on this channel, we are not jealous of Dipgyp's money,
And
being
we do not bully.
being a felon, unaliving her mom. Like, we're very, thankful we have, our mom in our lives and our moms in our lives and everything, and all of that. That gets into our whole personal, situation and everything. But we do have, my mom in our everyday lives. She's always going to be there. If she don't hear from us, and one day she's calling, y'all. But anyway.
I do have my mom also.
Yes, hubby does have his mom. Yes, she'll just let it go a little longer before she calls and stuff like that, though. But more than one day. Mama will be over here, like, unlocking the door, being like, are y'all okay?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Thankful, though, but anyway. So she said that, and then we replied with one more thing and said, no, dear, we are not jealous of Gypsy being a felon, unaliving her mother, and having pretty much, quote, y'all see what it says, money. You have a good one. You will realize this one day. You didn't answer the question, though. Just saying, smile, okay? Because we're not trying to bully anybody. We're not trying to be mean or anything like that. But hopefully one day this lady will open her eyes. But it does bring up, and it, like, she probably goes on and on. I don't know. Yep, she does. I don't answer ignorant questions from some jealous bully. We're not going to keep going on and on with her. Like, I'm not going to. Hubby's not going to. We're going to say what we have to say, and that's it. We're not going to go on and on with that. I mean, that's absolutely insane. It's insane to continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Like, so we told you what we had to say, and take it the way you want to. So anyway, it brings me to this point, though, that we did say. To those of you out there who say that creators are bullying Gypsy and doing things like that, we're not. And we're not jealous of her. We are so absolutely not jealous of her. I know that there's many people out there that sadly don't have their moms anymore. And we are so sorry for that, But the people that do have their moms are thankful for them. We're not out here unaliving them, or our parents or our dads or anything else. Or anyone else. I mean, it's crazy. But my point that I was trying to make, and that hubby was saying, is, okay, if you're going to go up to bat for Dipgyp, and you're going to go hard for her like this, and continue to argue with people as a grown-a woman, you would really be okay with living with or next door to someone who unalived someone who AR'd someone? And we're not saying Gypsy did that. She did unalive someone. But someone who R's people, or a serial unaliver, a serial artist, y'all get what I'm saying? Someone who SAs people. Would these type of people really be okay with that? Would you be okay with your children going over to their house to play, or living in the same neighborhood with them and stuff? So because that's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me that you would be okay with, by defending this mess and continuing to be a grown woman and continuing to want to argue back and forth with people. And you see, we didn't say anything back to her, so she's going after everybody else in the comments. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous and goes on and on and on. I mean, she just keeps showing up after every single comment people say. It's nuts. I mean, after we were done and weren't going to say anything else to her, somebody said, she does not work. She manipulated a mentally challenged person like she's Charles Manson. Okay, and then Vicky Black comes in with, and that makes you mad, or she actually said, that makes you mad and jealous because she's making money. What? That makes no sense.
Nobody said anything about that.
Right. And then the person said, LOL, I make good money and still have my mother. So, and Vicky Black had to come back again to keep arguing. This person finally stopped. This person left 2 comments like we did. And then just stopped arguing with a grown A woman. But she came back again and said, yeah, and I bet your mother isn't evil and abused you either. I bet your mom didn't make you have surgery or take drugs you didn't need. Gypsy's mom was evil and cruel to her. That right there. You have not done your research. You have not looked into her case. We seen a comment the other day that said, I don't need to look into her case. All I need to know is she hasn't done anything to me, so I'm gonna support her. Okay, well, you make no sense, but whatever. I know how to take my finger from the bottom of my phone and let it go straight up and just scroll right on up. I literally know how to do that as a grown A woman, which is what this Vicky Black person needs to know how to do. This is absolutely insane how she continues to go on. But Dipgyp's mother did not do that. It was found in the crime scene photos. All of the medicines in the medicine closet, all of them were still there. Didi was going and getting the prescriptions filled because it was part of the con. We never said Didi was a perfect mother. It was part of the con. She would go get the prescriptions filled, bring them home, put them in the closet. She never gave them to Gypsy. They were all filled. All of that. Gypsy had no seizure medication, none of that stuff in her system. When she was after she done the crime, committed her crime, and when they were arrested, there was nothing in her system, nothing at all. The only thing she was found in possession of was painkillers and Xanaxes, which is a benzodiazepine that she, stole, and it's the same things that she stole when she ran away to Dan's house, to Dan Gladwell's house. She stole her mom's painkillers, and which benzodiazepine is an anxiety medicine. She stole that and money. And Didi went to go get the prescription drugs and the money back from her to bring her back. That's it. Not to bring Dipgyp back. I'm sorry. I misspoke. She only went there to get the money and the prescription drugs and bring those back. That's it. Dipgyp tried to say she drug her back home and put her on a dog leash. Y'all didn't even have a dog at that time. Like, stop it. Just stop it. But you can see this grown lady's immature and ridiculous.
Go sit down somewhere.
Y'all, I say that a lot. Like in real life and everything, I really do. I'll be talking to husband. Don't talk.
Okay.
I can't talk. I'll be talking to Hobie about somebody. I'll be so mad. Like, they just need to go sit down somewhere and be quiet. And that's exactly what Vicky Black and Dipgyp need to do. They need to go to their corner of the earth and sit down somewhere and be quiet. But let's move on to the news footage because we have some really amazing things to show y'all with that. But anyway, regardless, before we get to the news footage real quick, we just wanted to make that a point that just keep in mind that little speech or whatever that you want to call it, she, apparently got paid $20,000 to do that. And we know she won't do anything without $1. And by the way, I also just thought about this. I wanted to say to this Vicky Black person who wants to argue with everyone, with her last comment, you don't know what people have been through. You can't say someone was not abused as a child or even as an adult or essayed or any of that. You can't say that about any of us. You know why? Because we don't put our whole entire personal lives all over national TV and all over social media to be scrutinized. So no, you cannot say that. Okay, before I press play, like on this news interview that Dipgyp did for Fox News, which she was probably paid for that too. Just an opinion. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I know you probably don't know that.
No.
Have you looked it up or found out?
No.
We don't know that for a fact, but you know, just saying, she probably was in our opinion. But anyway, we'll probably be pausing it through this video. So if you want to see the full video, you can pull it up on Fox News to see the full video, because we're probably going to be pausing just to point out a few things to y'all. But really, we were wanting to show y'all this for like body language. So I was wanting to show y'all, you know, neither one of us are body language experts. I've just learned a lot about body language and psychology. Okay, so when talking about Gypsy, or anyone for that matter, and you're watching their body language for signs of deception, you don't rely on one single sign or even two signs to determine deception. You want to look for like a pattern of unusual body language. Like we've all seen lots of videos of Dipgyp and everything, so we'll be able to do that. But remember, though, Dipgyp has told us that she knows how to manipulate and lie and do a good job at it, and that she was taught very well. Remember her saying that in one of her prison interviews? In my opinion, anyway, I don't know about you, but in my opinion, she wasn't, you know, taught very well, and she's not very good at it, because I literally can read it all over her, you know, with her body language. I can read it all over her when she speaks or is on social media or even on television. But you may want to keep in mind with someone like this, like Dipgyp, you want to look for the more obvious signs, yes, but also really look at the more subtle, like micro expressions and signs as well. That's really important. Some things we're going to be pointing out are like sudden changes in her posture, grooming gestures, like, you know, how she touches her hair a lot, her face and stuff like that when she's doing a live on TikTok or doing even just a video on TikTok. She's constantly licking her lips, and that's not us making fun of her. I really mean this, like licking her lips and making her lips go inward, and like constantly when she's saying something will be tucking her hair behind her ear even though it's already tucked behind her ear. So stuff like that, like the like touching her hair. So the grooming gestures like that, like touching her hair, like facial micro expressions, inconsistent head movements, which we're going to show you, and overly enthusiastic gestures, as well as a lack of like facial expression when discussing a sensitive topic. And you'll see her discuss a sensitive topic in here. Well, I mean, to normal people, it'd be a sensitive topic anyway. And of course, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, rapid blinking, you know, eye diversion. Also, context matters a lot with body language as well, because some signs can just be nervousness. So you really want to look for like a group or a cluster of these behaviors. With Dipgyp, we know that she is very used to doing interviews and acting and talking in front of the camera. So I personally wouldn't say that any of this is nervousness. It's more her trying to manipulate the person or people she's talking to, as well as the situation. So let's watch her, and we'll probably be pausing, like I said, to like point things out and give thoughts and our opinions and stuff. Okay, here we go.
So everyone has a story, but our next guest has one that is both horrifying and heartbreaking. Gypsy Rose Blanchard went to prison after pleading guilty to second-degree murder, the murder of her mother. And throughout her childhood,
Just have to say, like, real quick, I am so disappointed in, Good Day LA, Fox News, because they apparently did not do their research before having this guest on their on a segment of their news channel. Anyway, let's continue.
tell people her daughter suffered from a string of illnesses and disorders, going so far as to do things that included making her use a wheelchair, a feeding tube, get multiple unnecessary surgeries, and take medication she didn't need.
Years of physical, mental, and medical abuse led to Gypsy convincing a man she met online to kill her mother. She served 7 years of her 10-year sentence. She was released last December. Gypsy tells her story. She adds details that have never been heard before in her new memoir, My Time to Stand. And Gypsy joins us
Her new memoir, her fictional book.
this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're pregnant, by the way, so congratulations on your pregnancy.
Thank you.
You're having a little girl, you said?
I'm having a girl, yes.
Do you have a name yet?
We haven't
Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'll just turn it down just a little bit more so it doesn't blast your ears off, especially with her talking.
picked out a name yet, but we have a lot of options.
That's a lie already right there, because she's done said that she was going to name the baby Aurora after a dog, and then the middle name was going to be after Raina, Ken's mom. So, whatever. She's a liar. We all know that.
Interesting, right? When you are in the process of becoming a parent, how you will find how that will change you as a person. And going through the experience you've gone through, how do you think you're prepared to step into that role?
Well, thankfully, I have a wonderful support system. I have a wonderful family and friends who
You can already see her looking down, looking side to side, doing the eye diversions already, things like that. Just pay attention to these little subtle, like expressions and stuff. Just pay attention to her body language very closely.
support me through this journey. So I have lots of feedback from them and just a lot of support from them. So that helps me out.
Do you, Gypsy? Do you have a lot of friends? Because the only friends that you said you had was Bree, which is your quote dog sicker, the one you sick after people, after creators and things, who claims that she doesn't personally attack anyone, but then personally attacks people. And you say that's the only person you feel safe with. Yes, you're safe. That's the only safe place you feel safe talking about anything at, and on TikTok live panels that Bree does, and the only person you talk to and stuff. So I'm sorry, I don't believe you have friends. Just saying. You need some, but you can't get any because of the type of person that you are.
And your story has been well documented, and a lot of people have been following your journey and everything.
Her story's been well documented, all right, but it hasn't. Sorry to pause so much. I apologize now. I'll try not to do that so much. But her story has been well documented, and if Fox would have done their investigations into her story and the crime scene photos and the autopsies and the interrogations and the investigation and everything, they would know this stuff. Like, come on.
Thing that happened, but what do you want people to know and take away from this memoir?
I really just want them to read this memoir and realize that it doesn't matter what you have been through in your life.
I just want them to put more money into my pockets. That's what I want people to know, is that I want more money in my pockets. So please buy my book and the recording of my book.
Now we're gonna let it play, y'all.
Sorry.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and
She wanted people to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I thought she was wanting people to know she wanted more money in her pocket.
that good things still could happen for you, regardless of the horrors that you may have experienced in your life, because
Well, you didn't.
I think everyone relates to trauma in some form or fashion.
Well, for about 23 years of your life or so, it was basically, you could describe it as a nightmare, right?
Correct.
How were you able to
Y'all see how she said, right, because she knows it's a lie. They're saying for the first 23 years of her life, because she was 23 when she unalived her mom or had her mom unalived. Y'all see she was kind of shaking her head a little bit and then tilted it to the side and put her shoulder up and was looking down. Y'all can see that that's a sign of deception. That's several signs of deception, matter of fact.
Move on or move forward. Do you think about the past? Do you think about your mother?
I mean, of course. I'm in extensive therapy, and I work through my past by going.
Sorry, I have to say this. Extensive therapy. You are going to therapy that you were ordered to go to by the parole board, and that is it. That's it. Other than the little therapy you want to call therapy that you and Ken are going to that's rebirth therapy or whatever, if y'all are still even going to that.
Through that therapy, and it's going to be a long journey. It's nothing that I will be able to get over in one day. So it's going to be a lifelong healing process for me.
You say you want to be an influence for change. Can you talk about that? What do you mean by that? And did that experience in prison highlight the fact that you want to be an influence for change?
Absolutely. I feel like
Really?
There is a lot
Wow.
of positive change that could happen if given the ability. And so
You have the ability right now. Y'all see how she's looking down. She's looking to the side. You can't really tell it because of the way they filmed this, but you can, if you look closely, you can tell she is moving her hands, fidgeting. But she's looking down, looking to the side. But you have the ability. You have the ability even right now, sitting on a national news station, Dipgyp, that you knew everybody was going to see, that you knew millions of people would see. You have the ability right now to show change, to make a change. And you always want to whine about wanting the ability to show that you're a changed person, or wanting a second chance to show that you're a changed person. But you never use it. You never use the platform you have. You never use any platforms that you're given to show that you've changed in any type of way.
I think that there is a lot of things in our justice system that needs to be addressed. So I am an advocate for prison reform, but also
You are not an advocate. Do not call yourself an advocate. You are not an advocate. What has Gyp advocated for since she has been out of prison, or when she was in prison, or before prison, any time in her life? What has she advocated for? Really? What has she advocated for? Absolutely nothing. She doesn't work in advocacy. She's not an advocate for anything. Not one thing has she advocated for since being out of prison. Don't call yourself an advocate, because there are people out there truly working in advocacy who deserve praise and don't get it. And to those of you out there who do work in advocacy work and therapy and trying to help people through things, through trauma and stuff, thank you. Thank you to every single one of y'all. Y'all are amazing. Y'all have to hear traumatic stories and deal with that. And y'all are truly amazing people. And to have someone like Dipgyp claim that that's what she does is just a slap in the face to people who are actual advocates.
So, for abuse victims, I feel like I was in a situation where I didn't know that there were resources to help children.
You did know. You had plans. A through E. A, B, C, D, E. You had the plan of, trying to get pregnant by Nick. You had the plan of send flowers to mom from Nick. You had the plan of unaliving your mom. But the very last plan, I find it funny, because the very last plan, Plan E, was to call the police. So you at least knew that you could call the police, but you chose not to.
And victims of abuse in my situation. And so I think that needs to be advocated more, those resources, and more knowledge and education about that.
You had those resources in prison and you chose to deny them. you looked down that entire time while you were answering that question. Your PR team sucks. I'm just going to go ahead and say that because they should be pointing these things out to you. But we'll do it for you. That's what we're here for there, Dipgyp. We'll point them out for you. But you literally had the chance to get therapy, which a lot of prisoners don't. And you actually had the chance to get it. You were offered therapy in prison and you declined it. So don't sit up there and act like you need to advocate for more therapy in prison and reform and all this and that when you literally were offered that help and declined it.
Sorry I lied to y'all and said that we were just going to let it play.
No, you didn't. Hush.
Hopefully we will from this point.
Hobby cannot stand when I pause stuff. I try to show him stuff all the time and I'll be pausing it all the time to say something. But I'm doing this for a reason, for real, y'all, to show her body language to y'all. I really want y'all to see this and pay attention to this, how she lied straight through this. I mean, yes, we all already knew that she lied straight through every bit of this and her book and everything else. We all know that. But I want y'all to know this so that anytime y'all see her on TikTok or social media, anywhere, y'all can see where she has lied, or where she has lied and where she does lie from this point on, and how she does it, and how y'all will be able to see it with her body language. I apologize. This is getting long, though. We'll try to keep our thoughts until the end. We'll let it play, and then we'll try to keep our thoughts until the end.
About that, because you say in and out of prison, your platform you're using right now to really spread the message that there needs to be change and there is hope, as you were mentioning. But talk about your time in prison and the learning aspect you went through in terms of finding what resources were available and learning a lot for yourself about what lies ahead.
Of course, I mean, there are resources that are within the prison system, but getting those resources are actually quite difficult. And so I think that there needs to be very, very specific things that are laid out because it is very difficult for incarcerated individuals to get the extensive mental health therapy that they would require.
It wasn't for you.
So there needs to be more advocacy on that.
You talked about something that you hadn't mentioned until recently, how you were actually addicted to painkillers, right?
Correct.
That
We
was
told
something
y'all
that
that
many
in a
people didn't
previous
know.
video.
I was wondering, at the time that the murder of your mother happened, were you under the influence of the painkillers? Were you high? Did that influence what occurred that night?
I was, during that week, abusing painkillers. However, that was not something that affected my mental state at that time.
Oh, well, that's good you admitted that to us, Dipgyp. It's good for you to admit that it didn't affect your mental state, that the painkillers that you were on when you had your mom unalived and when you done your crime that night. It's good for you to admit that. That's something to really think about, because, she can still be charged with stuff in a different state, which doesn't affect the double jeopardy law. That's a whole nother conversation, just saying. But she was addicted, and she did go into prison addicted and continued to use in prison. And she herself has admitted that. So hopefully, and she came out of prison drinking and smoking cigarettes and everything. So hopefully, she has stopped all of that since she's, quote, pregnant.
Interesting. It's fascinating to me that for so many years, you went along with this fabricated story, right? And I guess I have a hard time understanding how when you would go visit doctors, because you did extensively, how those doctors were unable to see the truth, that you actually could walk, that you didn't need a feeding tube, that you didn't need these drugs you were given. I mean, it's just baffling to me. How was someone out there not saying, wait a minute, she doesn't need any of this stuff?
This is the last time I will pause. I'm going to try to promise y'all that. But doctors knew that she did need medications that she was taking due to her microdeletion disorder. They did do these surgeries, the few surgeries that she's had, which was like a handful, under like 5 surgeries that she had, because she did need them due to her microdeletion disorder. She did need them. That's why when Krusty Christie and her dad Rod tried to hire lawyers from all over. They tried locally first, then they, put out a wide search for like lawyers, trying to find a lawyer to take her case for malpractice so that they could go back and sue all these lawyers being greedy grifters, to sue these doctors for malpractice, for doing surgeries that were unneeded and giving her medicines that were unneeded, and all these, procedures that were unnecessarily done. But guess what? Out of all the many, many lawyers they talked to, they could not get one to take her case. And most of those lawyers will take cases pro bono, which means you don't have to pay them anything up front, because they know they're going to win. And they know they're going to win big money, like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in some cases, especially cases like this. They couldn't even get lawyers to take, or a lawyer to take this case, paying them up front. Know why? Because she needed these procedures. It's in the medical records and medical documents. She needed these surgeries and needed these procedures done. That's why they couldn't sue any doctors for medical malpractice.
This is all a lie.
I know. The level of deception that my mother had over these doctors was so extensive and so severe that these doctors would ignore test results coming back normal and things like this, things that should have been red flags. And unfortunately, I was one of the individuals of many that fall through the cracks.
She made sure of that.
So do you find those doctors in any way responsible for carrying on and allowing your mother then in a way to carry on this lie?
I kind of chalk that up to human error. I think we all want to believe the good in people.
Tilts her head.
I struggle with that.
It
is something that, yes, I do feel like they should be held accountable in ways. And other ways, I also feel like it was misjudgment on their part.
What do you think? Do you think there needs to be reform in the medical healthcare system as well? And what has helped you the most since being out of prison in terms of helping to rehabilitate your life?
Of course, I think that there should be more red tape within the medical system. I think that it should be a requirement for doctors to take a certain course while going through medical school on Munchausen by proxy syndrome. And I think that,
yeah, maybe they should take a course on Munchausen by proxy syndrome, but not in your case. They shouldn't, because your mother wasn't diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy syndrome. Dipgyp.
In general, there needs to be more advocacy and more awareness about Munchausen by proxy syndrome. And yes, I have an amazing support system that gets me through all of this. I've been out of prison for 10 months, and so far that has been a very eventful 10 months. So the support system that I have has been my inspiration for continuing to push on and go beyond my means of just being an average person, and hopefully can move on into being a voice for change.
You got that right.
It hasn't even been a year, but once you came out, you became a viral sensation, and you have a huge social media following. So I think, that's something difficult to adjust to, even if you didn't have everything that you've had in your life. That's for sure. Thank you for coming by.
God.
We appreciate you being here, and we do want people to know that, of course, they can pick up a copy of your memoir, My Time to Stand. We'll hit shop.
No. We're no. Just go ahead and do that right there. No, we're not going to support Dipgyp and her book. Sorry, that's our opinions. People want to say that they're going to buy her book and her recording of her book. At that point, that's literally just putting that at that point you're just trying to put more money in her pocket. You can hear the book, or you can read the book, one or the other. I wouldn't do either, because I wouldn't put a penny in her pocket. But if you're going to, pick one or the other. When you're getting both, I mean, you're just trying to put money in her pocket at that point. And she wants to do this advocacy work and work as an advocate, and she wants to, you know, help with people and help with their needs and this, that, and the other. But you daggone can't get on. You and your mom were supposedly, well, not supposedly, but y'all were, you know, rescued from Hurricane Katrina, but yet you're not worried about, nor have you said one thing about Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Milton, or helping anyone in these situations, in these dire situations. That's like, you know, what we were dealing with there's no gas at the gas stations. Grocery stores are shut down. People are finding gas at Wayne gas stations, and it's getting all balled up because people are sitting in line for over an hour to get gas. But you could put your feet down on the ground and get out there and help people that are in these situations and give back a little bit. But we all know you're not going to do that unless, one, you're being filmed for it, getting attention for it, or two, you're being paid to do it. This shows what kind of person you are, Dipgyp. Sorry, but it does. Okay, we are so sorry this video went on so long. This is the last thing we're going to show you, and it's literally just 1 minute long, where she got cornered by TMZ, y'all. And remember, she just got asked a question about the Menendez brothers at the San Francisco University that she went and spoke at. And y'all, they made it look like it was this humongous, like even hubby thought it when I showed it to him, like it was this humongous like arena or something that she was speaking at, or like concert arena that she was speaking at. It wasn't. It was a kind of a smaller room, you know, that had some students in it that were interested, I guess, in hearing her speak and, you know, wanted to hear her thoughts. But she was asked a really good question. It was the question that went viral about the Menendez brothers and the act and how she felt about them with that. And she didn't even answer anything about the Menendez brothers, really. She said, you know, I think she might have said something about they deserve, you know, therapy or something. I don't know what it was. I'm sorry, y'all. I completely forgot exactly how she answered that question. But she mainly kept it about herself and the fictional movie, The Act, which was based on everything she's ever lied about with her story and everything and her situation. But she kept it on herself and everything. And then here she got cornered by TMZ. And y'all watch how Ken tries to come to the rescue. Oh, little Kenny Boy tries to come to the rescue and fails.
Not a whole lot. I'm not very educated in their case or anything.
So they went to prison for murdering their parents. And nobody denies that they did it. But it's coming out, and it's pretty credible. A lot of people feel that they were abused by their parents. So now the DA is reviewing their case, and they're possibly going to get released. And I kind of wanted your opinion on that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I really can't speak on the specifics of that case. I'm not really educated in that case. But I will say that I'm an advocate for abuse victims in general, and I'm all about prison reform.
So if that happened, though, if their parents did abuse them, I mean, do you support their release, you think?
I don't think either of us are educated enough on the subject to really do it.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with it. You know, I think that, you know, if your case is being reviewed, then, you know, hopefully something can be done. You know, I think that, you know, abuse victims need to be advocated for more.
Yeah. Kim Kardashian actually supported that, and she defended that, and, you know, she's supporting their release. I think she's gotten some serious pushback. You know, you don't think that's fair at all? And
I mean, Kim is
hard to say.
Woman. Kim is a wise woman.
She is.
She makes good decisions.
She is.
In her prison reform era, I think she's doing good. Not a whole lot. I'm not very.
Okay, sorry, y'all. So that was that. And y'all seen where Kenny Boy tried to come up and say, I don't think either of us are educated enough in this case to be able to speak on it. Well, we didn't ask for your opinion, Kenny Boy, and, you know, and neither did TMZ. They were asking Dipgyp, not you. So I don't know why you even tried to come over and speak about it. Maybe you were trying to save Dipgyp from making a fool of herself yet again. But I think she literally just said, like, why were you speaking on the Menendez brothers at the university, for one thing, if you don't know anything about their case? And then here you admitted you don't know anything about their case. And
She'd be jealous if they got out because the spotlight would be on them then.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. Yes, I absolutely agree that. Yeah, I actually agree with that. Like, she probably doesn't want them to get out because she said, hopefully, if their case is being reviewed, then hopefully, something will come out of it. Like, what? That's not what an advocate says. And then she keeps wanting to say that she's an advocate for abuse. No, you're not. No, you are not. You've never advocated for abuse. Sorry, y'all, that this video is long. Sorry, that makes me so mad when somebody wants to claim that they're an advocate for abuse or something like that, or DV or SA or anything like that, when they absolutely are not and have never been, and are doing absolutely nothing with the platform they have to advocate for things like that. You should be ashamed. You should absolutely be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed. But yeah, she's probably jealous because she's scared that they would come out and get book deals and TV deals and movie deals and everything. Then all the attention would be on them and not her, which would be a good thing, in my own opinion. Just saying that. But, but I do mean it. That is my opinion. But just saying, just throwing that out there. But I absolutely agree with you there, Abby, that she would be jealous of it, and that's why she doesn't want it to happen. Sorry this video was longer than we expected it to be. There was just a lot of information we really wanted to go over with y'all and cover, but we just want to say one more time, we've reached 1,090 subscribers. We can't be more appreciative of that. We thank y'all so much. Also, we should have said this at the beginning of the video, and we are so sorry we didn't, but there have been 2 people that have donated to help us be able to help the community, our community, and help us be able to help our community with, sustainable food and keeping their power on, keeping our power on for them, to help them, to help family and friends and everything. We can't tell y'all how much that means to us. That made me tear up, truly. It melted our hearts, and it shows the true selfless people that y'all are, and we thank y'all so much for that. And those of you who didn't, that there's nothing wrong with that at all. We understand everyone's struggling right now. There's inflation and everything, and people just, they can only do what they can do. But we're going to continue to help people, and all of us are trying to help each other out with the little bit that we do have and everything, and we just appreciate that so much, and we appreciate all of our subscribers. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, share, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos, and we'll see y'all in the next one. We hope y'all have a good night, and God bless.
God bless.
Bye.